Welcome back. And today, what I'm going to go through is walk you through how your time would look over the course of a week if you were running £100,000 a month fitness business. Okay. So, where you would have to put your time, what would you be doing, and what kind of options do you have with your participation? Okay, within the business, because there are certain things that you have to do and only you will be able to do. There are also certain things that you won't have to do, okay, at this level, and you can hire staff to do. So we're going to go and break down where you should be spending your time and then the tasks that you're going to be doing within that time in order to allow the business to run efficiently, and you make sure that you meet all the criteria that you need to do. So first of all, the breakdown is going to look like this. You're probably going to spend around 10 hours a week managing and training staff. Okay. This is something that a lot of coaches don't realize that they're going to have to do. They think they're going to hire people that are ready made, that are going to walk into the business and basically going to do everything that they want them to do straight away. That's not the case. And you need a consistent management schedule in order to make sure that things move forward. You're also going to need to do about 10 hours on strategy and development. And again, this is something that people don't realize that has to be done on a weekly basis. You need to be developing. You need to be moving forward. You need to be working on the vision. You need to be learning, whether that's working with a mentor, whether that's doing a business program, or whatever that looks like for your business. You need to be making sure that you put time aside every single week in order to be doing that, so you can consistently be learning and moving the business forward. At £100,000 a month, you are going to be one of the leaders in the industry. That's just the way that the pyramid works at this game, okay? You are going to have to be forward thinking. There is going to not be many people that are going to be able to tell you what the next step is for you. And therefore, you're going to have to figure some out of it for yourself. Even if you have a mentor, they are not going to be able to tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to have your own thoughts and your own opinions and be able to form your own solutions to things. They can show you the guide, but you're going to need to have that forethought as well. The final thing you're going to need to do is content delivery, okay? With the way the video works, with the way the social media is these days, you cannot get away with just having a copywriter do all the stuff for you. You're going to have to be on camera. You're going to have to be showing your personality. You are going to have to show up and lead the brand, okay? Some coaching businesses can do it without a brand leader and without a face of the business. Most of them can't, okay? And I'm going to err on the side of you being most businesses, meaning that you're going to have to drive the business forward with your personal brand, which means that you are going to have some kind of content schedule output. All right. So you're going to do about 10 hours of management. You're going to do about 10 hours of strategy and development. You're going to do about 10 hours of content delivery. And then you've kind of got 10 hours to do what you want. Now, depending on where you're needed, okay, you might need to be jumping into sales. You might need to be helping, do extra lead gen or doing extra training with the lead generation team. We're in a very good spot at the minute where we've got very good managers in all of those areas. So me personally, I spend time doing one-to-one client work. I love it. I'm a coach. That's what I got into this business to do. I can't do loads of it. I definitely can't do 40 hours of it like I used to, but I like to reserve some time to work hands-on with one-to-one clients at a high level because I just like the thought process. I like working one-to-one with coaches that are doing 15 to 20 grand a month that want to get to 100K a month because it's a problem solving. It's not as formulaic. To be honest with you, we do 3K to 10K like it's fucking clockwork. It's literally like you come in, you do the work, you get 10K. It's nearly impossible to not do it. With regards to getting to 7 figures, it's a little bit more intricate. There's a little bit more personalization needed. And I just like getting hands-on with that stuff. So that's what I choose to do. You might choose to do sales. You might choose to do fuck all. You might choose to do more content. Whatever that looks like, whatever you like, whatever your thing is, you can do that. So going back to what you actually do within that, all right? Within your management and training, you are going to need to hire staff. You're going to need to train staff or develop training resources. So I would always recommend if you're going to train someone, film it so you can fucking do it automatically the second time. You're going to need ongoing management. I would recommend at minimum 30 minutes a day to do a daily huddle and then one-to-ones with staff outside of that. If you've got about 10 members of staff, say you've got like 7 coaches, you've got 2 setters and you've got a salesperson, all right, that's 10 staff that you're going to need at least half an hour with each, which is going to mean that you need 5 hours. Again, when you are more proficient, when your staff are better, you can probably reduce that time. But in the starting instance, and at least for the first 3 to 6 months, you're going to have to put that time in to make sure that they are working efficiently. The next thing is development and strategy. You're going to work on forward program development, okay? Creating new programs or, bettering the program that you do have, creating the next step, creating ascension programs, whatever that looks like. You're going to need to spend time on your marketing strategy and planning, looking what the next step is with that and making sure that you're driving sales. You're going to need to look at your vision planning, where you want to be long term, what's happening in the market, what your competitors are doing, what your clients are saying, doing that market research, really kind of getting to know the market. And I would always recommend that you do this. You can hire someone in marketing to do all that research for you. But I think if you're the business owner that you should be, you should have your finger on the pulse of what's going on in the market. You should know what's going on and you should be able to make those decisions for yourself and not pass it on to someone else. You're also going to put your learning and mentoring time in that place. However you learn, however you receive mentoring, whether it's from paying someone, whether it's from doing a business program, whether it's reading books, whether it's podcasts, whatever that looks like, okay, you need to plan in time to do that as well. Final thing is obviously your content delivery, and that's going to come in multiple different forms. You've got your short form content, you've got your longer form stuff like YouTube, podcasts, emails, you've got PR campaign work. So if you need to answer any questions, write any blogs, give any statements, go on other people's podcasts, go to events, speak at events, whatever that looks like, that's going to be in there as well. And you've also got some client content delivery time as well, creating trainings, delivering group work, creating resources for your clients, whatever that looks like, because that content can be used both ways. It can be used for clients, it can be used for marketing. Okay. So that's kind of where you put with that. And then again, like I said, your 10 hours is entirely kind of up to you what you do. I have 10 hours a week, which means that I can, spend an hour a week with a client, okay, make sure that things are moving really well, make sure that things are fast for them, and I can do high touch point with the clients that I do work with. I choose to do it that way. You could, do less time per client and have more on a higher volume. I'm just the kind of guy that rather, gives a top level service, charges a top level price for it and gives them a lot of my time. So that's kind of the way that I do it. That 10 hours is kind of flexible for you. And that is the basics of how a £100,000 a month business works. Now, that might change. These change all the time depending on needs of the business, depending on what projects you've got on. So sometimes I might not have as much time to do strategy and development because I might need to jump in and do more content, or I might need to jump in and fill a gap in training. Things happen in business all the time. It's almost like playing whack-a-mole where you deal with one problem and another problem comes up and you kind of have to shuttle some time around. All right. But I don't think for $100,000 a month, 40 hours a week is unreasonable. And that does tend to scale then from there. So our first ever month in business, we did $100,000, and we've more than doubled that now. And my time investment hasn't really changed too much. The only thing that's happened is I've had to put another layer of management in to make sure that I'm not delivering, one-to-one with all my staff. I work with my managers instead. That keeps my management time in the place that it is, and allows us to scale further. We've had to trade off some margin for that, but it's fine because the profit works out in the end. So that's the only kind of difference that happens as things scale. So realistically, once you've kind of got there, it's just kind of more of the same structure, just doing it better, adding another layers of like accountability almost, so like managers and the team leaders and that kind of stuff. But it tends to be kind of much of the same work for you. So hopefully that was useful. Maybe that gives you an insight into what the next step is. Maybe that just gives you an insight into what the future might hold for you. Okay. But if you found that useful, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel. Okay. Leave us a comment below, letting us know what you thought, ask any questions that you've got. And if you can, please share this to somebody that's kind of in your industry or you think it might help, because that's how kind of we want to spread this. We want to make sure that it gets in front of the right people, and we would massively appreciate it for the value that we give to you.